Hey Russ, what's the opener this week?
Well, today we take the dash out. Hi, I'm Russ. I'm rebuilding a 1977 Mobile Traveler motorhome. This is all about the MT and me. So, last week we spent our time looking for the mysterious fuel pump that we never did find and are starting to doubt its existence. But we do have a switch on the dash that says fuel pump. So we're going to trace the wiring on that switch today to see where it goes. It'll either lead us to the fuel pump or something totally unexpected, which would be kind of cool. But anyway, in order to get to it, we have to take the dash out. There are a series of videos by a gentleman, I can't think of his name now, can you?
The Digital Maker is the channel.
The Digital Maker, okay, that's his handle on YouTube, The Digital Maker. He is in the process of restoring a 1977 GMC motorhome. And in one of his videos, which we'll put a link to below, he drives it from Oregon to Nebraska. And at one point, he has trouble going up a hill. He loses his fuel supply. The engine just starves out and chokes. So he checked his fuel filter. That wasn't the problem. He finally figured out that as he was getting close to the top of this hill, the engine wasn't able to suck enough gas out of the tank in the back of the RV to get it to the engine, which is in the front. So his novel solution is to take a can of gas and feed the pump direct from the cab. That gets him over the top of the hill, and he'll look into the problem later on. So we think that maybe the reason that there might be a second fuel pump, an electric fuel pump, not to replace the manual pump, but to supplement it. Maybe Pearl had a problem going up hills too, getting fuel from the tank to the actual pump up front. Don't know, but it's an idea. Look at that video, see what you think about the problem, and see if we might have a similar issue here. In the meantime, we're going to continue to try to remove the dashboard and track down that wiring on our fuel pump switch. I pulled the center unit out. The whole bloomin' air conditioner, blower, and coils and everything is right here. It's a self-contained unit. So I've got two pressure hoses going to the compressor that I'm not sure I'm going to be able to pull loose. So we may just have to let this sit here for now. You know, I said we needed to clean out the
What was that?
gum wrapper.
Ah. Now that was probably the gum that was holding it all together. You know that, right?
This was plant life. Not anymore. This right here is the heater duct. And this flex cable goes up to the defroster. The whole AC unit, self-contained. And the radio is in the bottom of it. And oh look, more gum wrapper. Like you said, gum's holding it all together.
And now we know the secret of the Mobile Traveler construction.
That's it.
Although, technically, I guess, the air conditioner may have been aftermarket. Not aftermarket, but put in by MT. I mean,
it may have been, I don't know, we pointed out last week that from what's in the service manual, the AC and the radio are actually in opposite places.
right.
In the Dodge service manual, it shows the AC on the bottom and the radio on top. This is just the exact opposite. So,
And there were square head screws in that,
that's true.
which is a trademark of everything MT so far.
That is very true. And the other ones we found so far were Phillips heads. which I guess would be Dodge.
Yes.
Oh. Anyway.
I hear somebody. Who do I hear? Come on up to the door.
Come on up here.
Yes, sir. Welcome to your new establishment.
Oh, there you are. Come on in here. Hi.
Hey,
Hey, how's
how
it going?
are you doing?
Pretty good. Hey, I'm James.
Welcome to the MT and me. This is my foster brother, James.
That's us.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is two-boy.
We got the cedar.
Some beautiful
man,
cedar.
that is beautiful.
That is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, he's got it marked to the
Yeah.
inside. It's going to be a 12 by 12, but the 14s go to the outside.
Nice.
Oh,
Very
On
good.
the top and the bottom.
Yeah.
The rest of it's 12, and this is your experimental piece.
Okay, I'm going to put this down so that we can talk about this, because that is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know. James, we appreciate you.
Oh
man.
yeah, no problem. I enjoy bringing the wood and everything, and enjoy what's going to serve. And
Well, we're
love
gonna,
this family, and it's
I'll
all
show
great.
it off whenever it's all
Yes.
done, and
Yes.
it'll look so good.
Yeah, I'll get finished with it and get this poly on it, and we're gonna make it look good for him. The cedar's pretty. And thanks for Albert Mills for donating the wood for the good cause and to be well served.
We'll put a
Yes.
link to his information in the description below if
Yes.
anybody is interested in looking it up.
All right. If I don't get you with you now, we'll catch you on the wild side.
All right, love.
Love y'all.
Love you too.
Take care, brother. Like I say, get back with me and we'll get it all hooked up. All right.
Now I'm trying to figure out what screws to take out next. This is going to have to stay where it is. But to get the rest of this dash assembly off,
Well, the top of the dash should come right out with the rest of it. So what about the screws on either side? In the door well.
maybe that'll be the next one. Try taking the top off and see if it comes out by itself.
We may be better off putting the air conditioner back in.
I'm going to have to move it to get to a couple of screws. I can see that. Whoa.
At least the steering wheel doesn't go through the dash.
Oh, there's that much.
Hey, you want to step inside and watch a video?
Might not be a bad idea, because I really don't know what the next step is. Well, after an extensive search of YouTube, we have learned absolutely nothing. There are no videos about taking this dashboard out. Referring back to my trusty book here.
Because all the answers can be found in a book.
Now, let me emphasize again, the dashboard in this service manual isn't quite the same as this one. For in other words, it doesn't tell you anything about this unit that I dropped out, because in this one, the AC is on the bottom and the radio's on the top, so it's totally arranged differently. However, the rest of the dash, the glove box, the instrument cluster, and the top piece, the shroud I think is what they call it, appear to be all the same. And from what I've learned looking at this, my next step before I can even take this top off is going to be to get the instrument cluster out. There are 4 screws, here, 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 and somewhere, right there, right there. Can't see it, I can feel it. Those have to come out. You pull it forward and you have to disconnect the electrical feed on the back, the speedometer cable, and the connection for the ammeter that shows battery condition. And then the whole thing should pull completely out.
It said something about having to unhook stuff to get it out.
Well, that is obviously the case.
Yeah. So you have to go under the hood now.
No, I can't get to it from under the hood. There's a firewall in the way. This has got to be done from here, or from underneath.
What exactly are you doing then?
I am unplugging a wire that goes to something, I'm not sure what, but it's keeping me from moving it. Just right here.
It's a silver box.
Yeah. Another mysterious box. It is now unplugged. Okay. That made a difference. Okay, this is the speedometer cable.
All I see are your hands.
This is the big wiring cluster that can't seem to get loose. And that is on a bolt, so it's going to have to
What are you owing?
I've already pulled 2 posts out.
2 posts out of what?
Out of the printed circuit board. This means I have to put them back. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4 posts came off the printed circuit board. Alright, I got one more connection here.
Can I offer a hand?
Actually, I may just let that thing hang there. These are the wires that go to the fuel pump switch. And because through the firewall right there.
So now you need
So
to
we
get
are
on the
going to
other
have to
side.
look under the hood.
Yeah.
The electrical connection is right here. It's coming out of a wire bundle. And plugs into that. So I'm assuming that's where power is coming from because it's going into a massive cable bundle up here. But I can't begin to trace down individual wires. The other wire is this one right here. And it is going back up here and going right through the firewall with a bunch of other wires.
Well, pop the hood.
So let's go look and see if we can find it on the other side.
All right. So, what you got?
Well, I can't see. I don't know exactly
Which wire it is?
which wire it is.
Well, go wiggle the wire and I'll look and see if I can tell you.
I'm moving it back and forth.
Yep, and it's a wiggling like crazy. Come on around.
You got it, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little hard to miss.
Okay. And this one goes went through that wire clamp. This is it down here. Right here. That's it right there.
Uh-huh.
So let me get under the van. All right. So, yeah, it's running right along the... There you are, okay. I was looking for the camera. Hello, camera. Oh, I think I found it here. And it is...
I'm looking for your hand. I can kind of sort of see your hand. Oh.
You're not going to believe this.
It goes to that box.
It's going to that black box. That is exactly where it was. It is the red wire that goes to our mysterious black box.
So it is the fuel
that
pump.
we had decided couldn't possibly be a fuel pump. I still can't believe it's a fuel pump.
Maybe it's the control to the fuel pump.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know, but that's where the bloomin' wire goes.
All right. Well, come on.
All right. red wire goes to the switch that says fuel pump. So maybe it's a pump after all. So I think at this point the thing will be to go on past that and focus on seeing if we can get the engine running and get the fuel, because that's obviously where the fuel is coming from. I'm convinced now that the reason the fuel line on top of the motor is snipped is because they just cut it when they took the carburetor. These guys are working fast, they're cutting everything they can find and yanking that carburetor. Snatch and grab, snatch and grab, that's exactly it. So as a result, I think if we get that fuel line fixed and get a carburetor that fits, we can get everything hooked back up and then see if our fuel system works. You know, later on, hey, we can try that pump. If it still works, then maybe it's just for priming or for adding an additional boost whenever you need it. If so, I actually think that's a pretty neat idea myself, you know, so. But
yet another thing that makes Pearl the perfect vehicle.
That's right. And another thing that makes her unique as well, too. So
yes.
Totally unique. So another little mystery of Pearl. Still a semi-mystery because we don't really know for sure. But I think we're on the road to solving that one anyway. So, we're back. It's the next day. We took a little break yesterday and ended up getting shut down by a thunderstorm. So we're coming back today to try and get the rest of the dashboard apart. And right now I'm trying to determine exactly what size socket or wrench I need to get those little nuts out. It's being frustrating. It's a good word for it. According to my manual, which apparently I left inside this time, there are, it shows eight posts that hold this top cover on. It had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 and 8 on the other end. And there are posts attached to this that go through the dash and are secured with a nut.
Okay.
So I've got to find something to get those nuts off. I have to get all the nuts off in the first place. And to do that, I'm going to have to get the glove box out, which is really the first step in order to get to these over here.
And how do you take the glove box out?
Well, we start by getting the little container off the door, so it's out of the way. And then I think got a couple of screws up here. Ooh. So you can
Pull the other side of that, yeah.
This has got to come to.
So how many screws were there in there so far? You had one on either side and one at the top?
So far I had 2 in the top. Let's see if there's more. You know, the only reason I'm still taking this entire dash off is for you, the viewer, so that there will be a video on the internet of taking the dash out of a 1977 Dodge van. If there's one on there, we couldn't find it. So maybe I can be unique. Well, you do have to take the door off because the door is installed over the bottom of the plastic screwdrivers, plastic box.
No.
Door. Box. Next we start working on those little nuts that are located in there. Finding them, getting them removed.
Which should be a lot easier now that you have the dash, or have the glove box out, right?
I wouldn't speak so early if I were you. This nut is loose. It's just gotten itself cross-threaded, and I can't get it to finish unscrewing. And still very much holding the top on.
Is it the only thing holding the top on?
No, there's two more down there somewhere.
Oh, okay.
No, we're not nearly finished. I got it. Oh!
You got it!
Yeah.
Yay. Two more.
Two more. It came off much too easily. So I'm really worried about the last one now. Here it comes. Okay.
So where does that leave us?
Okay, if my information is correct, we ought to be able to lift the top of the dash off. Voila. And there's still a lot of dash there. All I did was take the pad off. Yeah, see, these are the things that it's actually a metal. In this case, it's been a metal, because the dash itself has a metal frame on it, and it's just upholstered.
It's upholstered metal, huh?
Yep.
All right.
So you don't find in cars anymore.
And whenever you look up here, there's still dash.
There's still dash. We can't get the rest of the dash, this actual metal framework of the dash, out without doing some major surgery, which is something we don't need to get into at this point. This does give us access fully to everything inside the dash that we might possibly need to get to.
So you can trace everything down now.
So
right?
everything can be traced down, the wiring can be traced, we can be sure that this one actually has mechanical connections that control the defroster and the amount of heat that you get, things like that, so we can be sure that all of those slide cables and valves are working properly. Lubricate them if necessary. Give them a little maintenance because they've been sitting still for a long, long time. And like I said, it just gives us access to everything, even to the AC unit that we've got hanging out here, in case it needs any attention. And the good old radio below it, which I'm kind of anxious to see how well it works, because it's an old AM, FM 8-track player. So, that's cool.
We'll have to buy some 8-tracks.
Somewhere I think I've got one or two old 8-track tapes. Way back in the box, deep in the closet.
Super Tramp.
So, yeah, so we'll find something that'll play in it. Anyway, so, yeah, for today and for this week, I think we're going to stop here. It appears I've made enough of a mess of the front end of Pearl. She's just going to hang this way for a while. But, hey, we were successful in tracking down the wire to the mysterious black box, and it looks like that mysterious black box is indeed some sort of fuel pump. Now, you would use such an electric pump, for example, priming the engine. If you had trouble getting it started sometimes, you could use it as a primer. Hit the pump for a few seconds and then hit the ignition, and it should be plenty of fuel to bust the engine off. Racers apparently also would use it as giving an extra boost to fuel pressure and increasing the fuel flow whenever they're really gunning their 360 or 440 or whatever engine they have going down the racetrack, you know. Now, I really don't think they were racing Pearl.
I wouldn't put it past them.
That's true. There might have been, you know, motorhome races in the Black Hills, you know, every, kind of like Sturgis is, you know, every year, possibly. I've just never heard of it. But racing or not, we do know that Pearl spent her entire life up until we purchased her and moved her here to the sunny south. She was in Nebraska, and it's pretty darn cold in the winter in Nebraska, so she had a lot of really cold morning starts. And perhaps that electric fuel pump was put on to help with those, to give a little extra fuel to make it not so hard for her to turn over in a very, very cold situation. It could help there. So maybe that's the solution. We'll probably never really know.
I still think it has to do with going up and down the hills.
I like to think they were racing her in the Black Hills. I can just see Pearl tearing off down the road, you know. All right, fire, hit the nitrous, you know.
Yeah, we
but
find out her previous name was Black Betty.
That's it, Black Betty. Going down the road. We will probably never know exactly, but as we pointed out earlier, I think it's time to just kind of move on past this. We know it's a pump now, and we know that switch is going to control it. So let's get the engine running, get a carburetor that fits on it, get it fixed up, and get her to where we can run some gas through her. Then we can worry about this electric pump, if it works, if it doesn't work, if we need it, or whatever the case is. But for the time being, at least we do know that, yeah, where it says fuel pump over there on the dashboard, that operates an electric fuel pump. Indeed it does. So I feel like we have perhaps solved one mystery and perhaps created two more. So that's the way things go with this old girl. She's just full of secrets and surprises. Yeah, that's why we love her. Yeah. And hey, we love you for watching every week with us here as we unravel the mysteries of Pearl, the mobile traveler motorhome. Join us each and every Sunday morning for a new exciting episode. You never know what you're going to find, right? In the meantime, if you are not a subscriber, I would urge you and ask you to please do so and comment on what we've talked about in this video. The carburetor at the beginning, the fuel pump, the mysterious black box. Is it or isn't it? Apparently is, but you know, let me know if you know anything about that. You know, 70s era inline fuel pumps. I would love to pick your brain about it. So leave me a comment. Be sure and like and share this video. Don't forget about our Facebook page. Follow the MT and Me there, and online at themtandme.com. Okay. Oh, and there's a link below. First of all, to the video of our gentleman, what's his name again?
Digital Maker.
The Digital Maker, and one of his videos concerning a fuel pump issue that kind of got us on the right track here, so you can check it out. And check out his other videos. It's an interesting series of working on that beautiful 1977 GMC motorhome restoration. Check that out. You'll also find a link where you can buy me a coffee if you want to help with the Pearl project. And we would love to have you be a regular subscriber and contributor if you feel so moved to do so. Either way, join us next week. We'll be back. You be here too. Till then, I'm Russ. Reed's behind the camera, and we'll talk later.
That kind of got away from you a little bit.
I was just kind of rambling there a little bit, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Felt like I was in a pulpit or something, but anyway, so. All right, let's put some tools up and see if we can go find some lunch.
That sounds good.